Let us turn first to the man whose very existence challenged our premise, Eric Dane. For many of us, he burst onto our screens with an undeniable presence, a captivating charm that earned him the moniker McSteamy on a medical drama that captured the nation's heart for years, Grey's Anatomy. He had that classic Hollywood leading man look, rugged, handsome, with a glint in his eye that promised both mischief and depth. His career was on a meteoric rise, from guest spots to becoming a household name, seemingly living the dream that so many aspire to. He embodied that ideal of strength and vitality, commanding attention in every scene. But behind the dazzling lights and the carefully crafted image, a different story was quietly unfolding, one that would bring him to the brink. It started subtly, perhaps with a sports injury, a common occurrence for active individuals. The pain, a real and undeniable force, led to prescribed medication. And this, my friends, is where the insidious pattern often begins to weave its cruel threads. What starts as necessary relief can, for some, morph into a reliance, a dependency that slowly, almost imperceptibly, takes hold. The pressures of Hollywood, the grueling schedules, the constant demand to be on, to be perfect, only amplify these vulnerabilities. For Eric, this pharmaceutical reliance became a profound battle, one he eventually confronted in a treatment facility. But the story doesn't end there. The weight of these struggles, coupled with the relentless spotlight, began to take a toll on his mental well-being. In 2017, while filming his series The Last Ship, he made a courageous choice. He halted production, not because of a physical ailment visible to the naked eye, but because he was battling profound mental health challenges, a period of deep despair. This public admission, this brave step into the light, was the very precipice where many careers, and indeed lives, in Hollywood have crumbled. Yet, Eric Dane chose to speak his truth, to seek help, to fight. He represents not a victim of the pattern, but a rare survivor who escaped the undertow. The supreme irony, you see, is this. The secret everyone assumes Hollywood stars die to protect, their struggles with mental health and a dependency on prescribed medications, is the very thing Eric Dane confronted publicly in order to live. He did not die keeping a secret. He is alive because he refused to. The narrative was supposed to end with a tragic discovery, but instead, the veil is lifted to reveal not a man's final days, but his decision to finally start fighting for them. His journey offers us a profound lesson in vulnerability and the strength found in honesty. From Eric Dane's courageous battle, we turn our gaze to a different, yet equally poignant chapter in Hollywood's story. We remember a time when a generation was captivated by the rebellious charm of a young man with sideburns and a brooding gaze, Luke Perry. He was Dylan McKay, the quintessential 90s heartthrob on Beverly Hills 90210. I'm sure many of you remember gathering around the living room television, perhaps with a bowl of popcorn, to watch the drama unfold in that iconic zip code. Luke Perry was more than just a television star. He was an icon, embodying a certain kind of cool, a rugged authenticity that resonated deeply with audiences. He seemed to us vibrant, almost indestructible, a fixture of our youth that we expected to see for decades to come. His career spanned decades, moving beyond the teen idol image to more mature, nuanced roles, showcasing a talent that continued to evolve. He was working, thriving, even starring in a popular new series, Riverdale, when the unthinkable happened. It was a sudden, catastrophic neurological event. The official report reads, massive ischemic stroke. But that's the clinical, sterile conclusion. What our sources reveal is a sudden, brutal thunderclap, not a slow fade. Perry was just 52 years old, an age when many men are hitting their stride, enjoying the fruits of their labor. The medical reality was swift, brutal, and irreversible, culminating in his family's agonizing decision to withdraw life support. The cursed pattern isn't the one you've been sold, the one of a shared tragic end. The link between Perry's death and a living Eric Dane isn't a shared fate. It's a shared battle against the facade of Hollywood invincibility. Years before his stroke, Perry himself had a secret he chose to reveal. A 2015 colonoscopy found precancerous growths, turning him into a vocal advocate for early screening. The true tragic link is the hidden fragility, the private medical crises brewing beneath the surface while these men are demanded to publicly project masculine, unbreakable strength. The secret they died to keep? It wasn't a Hollywood scandal, it was the simple, terrifying vulnerability of the human body. Luke Perry, a man celebrated for his blue-collar authenticity, became a public symbol of a stark medical truth. Strokes aren't just for the elderly. The ultimate irony is that in his death, he exposed the one secret Hollywood can never truly hide, that behind the illusion of eternal youth and strength, the clock is ticking for everyone. From the sudden, shocking loss of a beloved television icon, we shift our focus to a different kind of intensity. A performer whose very presence commanded the screen with an almost primal force, Ray Liotta. He wasn't just an actor, he was an experience. Think of him in Goodfellas, or Field of Dreams, roles that etched themselves into our collective memory. He had an unparalleled ability to portray men on the edge, characters crackling with a dangerous, unpredictable energy, yet often possessing a surprising vulnerability beneath the surface. For decades, he was the picture of intensity, a true character actor who could elevate any film he graced. His golden years saw a resurgence, with critically acclaimed performances reminding everyone of his undeniable talent. He was active, working, and seemed to be enjoying a vibrant late career chapter. But even for men who project such an indomitable spirit, the human body carries its own silent burdens. Ray Liotta's passing came suddenly while he was on location filming in the Dominican Republic. The official cause was pulmonary edema, acute heart failure, and respiratory insufficiency. But the deeper truth, the secret revealed in the medical findings, pointed to severe atherosclerosis, a progressive systemic hardening of the arteries. This wasn't a sudden, dramatic event like a scene out of one of his movies. It was a silent, creeping killer that had likely been compromising his system for years. The public saw the tough guy, the dynamic performer. The autopsy revealed a man battling a common but deadly disease of aging and cardiovascular stress. The cursed pattern isn't supernatural, it's medical, and it's brutally human. The link between Liotta's demise and the public health battles of figures like Eric Dane, who has openly discussed struggles with skin cancer and profound mental health challenges, is the immense pressure to project an image of unbreakable vitality. The secret they are compelled to keep is their own mortality and physical frailty. Liotta was working up until the end, maintaining the persona, while his body was losing a long private war against atherosclerosis. The curse is the industry's demand for invincibility and the silence it often imposes on the realities of human health. Ray Liotta built a legendary career playing men who were terrifyingly alive, crackling with a violent, unpredictable energy. He was the picture of intensity. The ultimate irony is that he wasn't taken by a gunshot or a dramatic confrontation, but by a quiet, internal, and tragically common failure of the heart and circulatory system. The secret everyone was looking for wasn't a conspiracy, it was a medical chart. The man who seemed indestructible on screen was in the end defeated by the same fragile biology that governs us all. From the masculine intensity of Ray Liotta, we now turn to a woman whose vibrant personality and comedic timing lit up our screens for decades, Kirstie Alley. She burst into our living rooms as the unforgettable Rebecca Howe on Cheers, a show that defined an era of television for so many of us. Her wit, her beauty, her ability to make us laugh and empathize made her a true star. Her career was a tapestry of iconic roles from the Look Who's Talking films to Veronica's Closet, always bringing her unique blend of charm and fierce independence. She was a force of nature, a woman who lived her life publicly, often sharing her struggles and triumphs with refreshing honesty. Her body, her weight, her health journeys were frequently discussed, sometimes by herself, sometimes by the media, making her seem like an open book. But beneath that public persona, a devastating private battle was brewing. The official story is colon cancer. But the truth our sources reveal is in the timing, a diagnosis that was only recently discovered. For a star who lived her life so publicly, the disease was a devastating secret she held until the final curtain. It was a swift and brutal battle, fought and lost entirely in the shadows, away from the cameras that had defined her existence. It's hard to accept when a talent like that is taken by a simple medical oversight, isn't it? The pattern isn't a curse, it's a diagnosis. While Kirstie Alley's cancer remained a private, fatal secret, Eric Dane faced his own medical crisis in the public eye. In 2008, he was treated for skin cancer, a fight he won through early detection. The secret they both shared wasn't a conspiracy, but the brutal reality of cancer and the life or death stakes of when the veil is lifted. One story became a cautionary tale of a silent killer discovered too late. The other, a public testament to the power of vigilance. They represent two sides of the same coin. The private terror of a diagnosis and the radically different outcomes that follow. For decades, Kirstie Alley's body was a subject of relentless public scrutiny. Her weight, her diet, her physical appearance were dissected on magazine covers and in her own reality show. The supreme irony is that while the world was obsessed with the visible, external aspects of her health, the truly lethal threat was an invisible disease growing within. The secret she died to keep wasn't about the numbers on a scale. It was about the cells silently multiplying in the one place the public could never see. The stories we've shared today of Luke Perry, Ray Liotta, Kirstie Alley, and Chadwick Boseman are not just tales of loss, but profound reminders of the human fragility that exists even within the most glittering of lives. They reveal a Hollywood pattern, not necessarily of a curse, but of immense pressure, of hidden struggles, and of the often impossible demands placed upon those who entertain us. And then there is the story of Eric Dane, a man who, against all odds, chose a different path. A path of honesty, of seeking help, and ultimately, of survival. His journey reminds us that while some secrets are tragically kept until the very end, others are bravely revealed, leading to healing and a renewed sense of purpose. These were the faces on our screens in our prime, the heartthrobs, the tough guys, the heroes. Their sudden, often mysterious departures aren't just tragedies. They're a shocking reminder that an entire era of Hollywood is vanishing before our eyes, leaving behind more questions than answers about the true cost of fame. Please share in the comments which of their roles touched your heart the most, because as long as we remember them, they are never truly gone. Take care of yourselves and hold your loved ones close. Memory is the only thing that truly lasts forever.